What is up, King of Kings family? Pastor Eric here. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday, even though it is not a warm Thursday. But I am here today with Jannah Garback, who is our new Director of Worship Life. Long awaited position to fill. God knew exactly who we needed. And we are happy that she is on the team and getting started. And what I wanted to do is just really give Jannah an opportunity to share a little bit more about herself, allow you to get to know her a little bit. Please, on Sundays, introduce yourselves. Don't expect her to know everybody's names right away. That's not going to happen, but she is a joy to have on the team, and definitely want to give you all an opportunity to at least have a little more connection with her. And so we thought this would be the easiest way to do that. So, Jannah, I'm gonna kick it over to you, and just would love for you to share a bit about your background, where you're from, your family, your interests, life as it currently is. So tell us about Jannah.
Wow. Well, thank you, Pastor Eric. What an intro. Wow. Yeah. Well, so my name is Jannah Garback. I am soon to be Jannah Cole because I'm getting married next year, August of
Woohoo!
next year. So that's most of what kind of my life is about right now is planning my own wedding, which is, it's stressful, but I'm very excited. I've got all the pieces in place and we got our venue figured out and we're trying to figure out all the small details, So, but it'll work out. I'm very excited. So it's stressful, but very exciting. Like I picked up
That's
my
great.
dress. I can't wait. Yeah, so me, I mean, I have always been, I say I came out the womb crying, screaming, singing, like singing notes. As my mom says to me all the time. Both my parents are church musicians. So my dad is a retired Catholic music minister. And my mom always sang and was the soloist. So that was just my life every weekend, was just singing Alleluias every single weekend and singing back and forth to them. And they, figured out, oh, she's a musical one. They figured out after some time. And also like growing up around music around the house. I mean, we listened to everything. We listened to Motown, we listened to the Beatles, musicals, very big in musicals my family. My dad taught me how to, harmonize to the Beatles records. I think I have in my storage because I just moved apartments. I have a huge poster of the Abbey Road, so I'll have to put that in here. I'm still working on getting my studio space together. But yeah, so that's kind of always been my life. And Pastor Erica, we've kind of talked a little bit about this, how with no matter what happens in my life, no matter where I'm going or what comes my way. Like I'm on my boat, right? And God is He's the wind pushing me where I need to go. And sometimes it might be super choppy, and sometimes the weather might be perfect. Like today, like it's sunny out, but it is so cold. So I just feel like that's been a constant theme through my life. But I mean, now that I've just turned 31, so yeah, I'm in the 30 club. Like going through my 20s, like that was all trying to figure out, you figure out like I'm this person, I'm gonna be this person, and then the God kind of works everything out and says, hey, this is your calling, this is what I really want you to do. And so that really started when I was in college. So I went to undergrad at Rochester College, formerly Michigan Christian, Rochester College, and then Michigan Christian University. There we go. Did I do it right? No, no, Rochester
It's
Christian. Uh,
Rochester Christian University
okay,
now.
there we go. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you. I mess it up every time.
they changed their name so much that it's easy to do.
Right. Yeah. So that's how I got into the career of worship leading is in a cappella chorus with Dr. B. We went on a 16-day bus tour across the country, and I was just exposed to so many people and music, and it was a huge learning experience. Like being on a bus for 16 days with college kids, all of us was kind of a crazy trip, but it was full of memories, and it was just something that really stuck with me. And I was like, because I originally I wasn't going to be a music major. I was fighting it really hardcore. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a communications major and I'll just be a photographer and that's what I'm gonna do. But when I stepped foot in that rehearsal room and we had our first practice together, my heart was like just like I cried after because my heart was so happy and full of joy. Like this is where you're meant to be. There's nothing better than that feeling of knowing like this is where I'm meant to be. This is, what I'm meant to do. So went through college and towards my senior year, Dr. Bentley, my director, he said, "Hey, I think you're pretty good at being a soloist. Would you like to try singing at a local church in Beverly Hills at Northbrook Presbyterian?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Completely scared out of my mind. I was like, I've done this with my home church. Now here I've heard like contemporary music from all different kinds of groups and a cappella music and the hymns and like it was just a huge fusion of music that was happening. While I'm also teaching at the music studio at this time too and and getting into my calling. So he's like, "Hey, I think you would be really good at this. Give it a try." And it was that same like really warm feeling. I was like, "Ooh, this I feel like God is really using me for the good of the kingdom here. I feel like this is good. I want to keep doing this. This is good." And then eventually, so after I graduated college, and then I started my master's program at Bowling Green State University, woohoo,
Go Falcons.
online. Yes, go Falcons. Online. And I did it all within a year. I was very ambitious. And if I could go back and change one thing, I think I would go back. I would take more time. But here we are. It was a crazy year. That was crazy. And the director at the other church, that Northbrook, that saw me do the soloing and all that stuff, said, "Hey, we're looking for a contemporary coordinator. We're looking for someone to be here part-time. Can you help out at our Shepherd in Birmingham?" And I said, "Okay." Same thing. I'm nervous. I was like, I don't know about this. I'm not sure. But then, stepped into the rehearsal room. Everyone was so lovely. And, that first year was like affirmation, like you should do this. This is your path. And like the heavens open when the music happens, and it's just my direct line. I think I was talking to I'm sure Roger will see this. I was talking to Roger earlier, and we were talking about how singing and music, at least for me, it's just my main way to feel connected to
Mhm.
God and to the spirit and to everything that's happening. It's just a main line. And I know a lot of times for others that might be the word, that might be the scripture itself, or it just might be that meditation, that prayer. But for me, it's just there's something about the music and the scripture coming together and people and God's people coming together that it's beautiful. It's just harmonious. There's just like no words for me to describe it. I'm trying to come up with words. It's like, God, help me come up with some words. Yeah. So and I've been at Our Shepherd for about 5 years, 6 years now. So yeah, really stepping into my calling there. And as you can tell, I love life, I love people, I love God, I love music. And that was kind of, my eyesight, my vision coming in there. And that's was my vision too when I was looking at jumping into here at King of Kings. So, and I at last a couple months ago, last month or so, I prayed to God. I said, God, I've been a private music studio teacher for almost 15 years now. I did straight out of high school, 2010, 2011. No, 2000, yes, 2009. Wow, it was a while ago. And I said to God, I said, like wherever you want me to go, that's where I'm gonna go. Whom shall I send? Let's go. That's gonna be me. And like my boat, those were some rough waters for a while because I wasn't sure where I was gonna land. Did I want to be an adjunct teacher? Did I want to use my degree to do publishing and writing? Like, there's so many questions. But the one main thing is God and music and loving life and loving people, loving God and being in the kingdom. That is my vision and my calling. Yeah, that was a really
Great.
long-winded introduction,
I
but there you go.
think you answered like three of my questions. I didn't even have to ask them, so that's awesome.
Oh,
I resemble that remark. So we have off buttons, and if people don't push our off buttons, we just keep
I
going.
know, right? We just keep
That's
rolling, right?
Yep. So what you mentioned a little bit about being a vocal coach as well. Just say a few brief words about that.
Being a vocal coach. Yeah. So that was my primary instrument was teaching voice. Teaching piano as well was my secondary in college. So at the music studio, I teach voice, piano, clarinet, a little bit of flute, ukulele. Ukulele is a great starter instrument. If you ever want to just jump into music really quick, ukulele is great. And guitar. So being a voice teacher, a vocal coach, I've got to work with like all ages. I don't just work with just kids. I've had adults come into the music studio too, really wanting to, be a part of, the bigger picture of music. I really want to, be involved with this. I've had one student who had a partially paralyzed vocal cord
Mm.
once too. So I've worked with part of my master's training was, there's room for everybody in the music classroom, and the staff at BGSU was just awesome about that. I had a student here, she had a paralyzed vocal cord and could make maybe 50% of the sound. And my goal for her, this was, I think, a couple of years ago, I worked with her. My goal for her was to make at least like 25% more of the sound. I mean, and this girl, by the end of her couple of sessions, she was just like, up to like almost 80%. It was incredible. And and the community was incredible too. Like we all rallied around her. It was awesome. I mean, I have so many other stories like that. If you catch me on Sunday, just ask me about my students and I like you said the nonstop button. I will just keep rolling about my kids, about
No, it's
kids.
great.
Yeah.
It's great. What are you most excited about in joining the team at King of Kings?
Oh man. I love well, first of all, I love making music, but getting to know other people through, music performance or, just through, the act of worship, it's kind of like it's a battle cry. Like we're all battle crying like together, So that's the one thing I'm looking forward to is to working with the worship team and everyone has been so wonderful so far. Shout out Andrea, Roger, Joe, everyone has been awesome so far. And I feel like, in this united front with the team. So it's just wonderful. Just that feeling of unity and through music, through the power of music. I always joke that my favorite part of service, of Sunday service, or just, Saturday, whatever I'm doing, is my favorite part's the drive home, but not for the reason that you would think it is. It's not because of I get to go home and church is over, but it's because I feel like I was actually part of something for the greater good. And I feel a sense of peace and a sense of zen and calm. And I'm sure everyone can, relate to that's like it's just a good refresh, to the week. So that's my favorite part is just driving home and feeling that peace in my soul, that it is well in my soul and I can carry on in the kingdom because it's crazy
Great.
out sometimes.
Yeah, it is for sure. Share a little bit about your vision for the worship life at King of Kings, and in particular, we this last fall merged into really kind of tried to merge two styles or traditions of worship into one, and we've been playing around with that in the preceding months. But just kind of touch on that and just overall your vision for the worship life as you step into this position.
Yeah, right on. Two different styles, hymns, contemporary, like I said, it's that musical fusion. One of my favorite things to do, excuse me, hiccup, in worship is to play a hymn in a contemporary style or and flip around and play with the strengths of the team. If someone's really good at jazz, like, or if Joe brings on the flute and the saxophone, I'm like, ooh, like let's get it rocking and rolling, while honoring the scripture and honoring the word. The goal is always to honor the word above all else,
Mhm.
to honor God and honor the word. But as far as a vision goes, I just feel like in this world, we as people, I mean, not just believers, non-believers, just people, we long to belong somewhere. We want that feeling of that mission of being part of the greater good, right? That's that feeling at the end when you're driving home and you're like, ooh, I felt it, and just having that sense of belonging where, there's room for everyone, at the
Mhm.
table. It's not just the people who attend the church. It's everybody. I mean, and my first time coming into the church, I could feel that sense of belonging and that unity. It's like Romans 12. I brought my Bible with me because I just literally I was dwelling in the word earlier this morning, from Romans 12. For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not have all the same function, so in Christ we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs all to the others. So it's reinforcing, that unity, that you are a part of the unified force. And that's something that I want to bring, to the team, in fellowship together and in rehearsing together. I've always said from day one, from whenever I step into a job or anywhere I go, I always say, my goal is to be light. My goal is to be a part of the light, walk in the light. I want to be a child of the light. I want to be an ambassador for Christ. Like I said, I love life. I love God. I love people. And, I want to, be a part of that. And it's reciprocal too. So I feel, the relationship as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's room for everyone.
Yeah. I when I talk to people, and in particular people who come to King of Kings for the first time, or are relatively new, and we've had a few of those folks in the last few weeks who have shown up. The thing that really resonates for them is what you described, is that sense of community and belonging, and whether you're somebody who's been around for 50 years or for 5 minutes, and whether you're a little child, or shall we say seasoned in life, that you belong, and there is a place for you in the whole. And one of the things that I talked a lot about as we were going through the transition is that, not everything is going to be everyone's cup of tea in worship,
Hmm.
but everybody gets to drink some of the time.
Hmm.
And I think part of what excited me and excited our team about hiring you is that you have a breadth of experience. You come from a family of more traditional worship styles and background, and you have competency in that. But then you sing Motown, and you've sung in other places, and you've led in other places, and you've worked in a Lutheran church before, and so you understand the value of the liturgy and the pattern and the form of what worship takes. And so yeah, I'm very, very excited about your leadership, and being able to partner with you in seeing Christ glorified, and our community continuing to grow, not just numerically, although we would love to see that happen, but also in depth in their relationships with Christ and with one another. Anything else you'd like people to know? Anything fun or weird, or you have a record, I think, or a single that you released, right? I think I saw that
Yeah.
somewhere. So you can promote that if you'd like, or what anything else you'd want people to know
Oh,
about you.
I get to plug my record. Oh,
You
yay.
do.
So I have a holiday single called It's Christmas Baby. One of the producers from Motown helped me put it together. It's an original song, so it's my song. I wrote it, and putting it all together, and the people at Michael's Entertainment in Troy helped me put the video together. So the video's out now. So it's available on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, and I got other plans too.
All
I
right.
always wanted to write a worship album, so well, the future is bright. We'll
Great.
see. Yeah. Thanks.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, folks, be sure to welcome Jannah as you see her in the coming weeks. She's going to be we're slowly kind of transitioning her into the position, and I'd be remiss without mentioning Andrea Holt, who's been serving as our interim worship director. She will continue through the end of the month, and so you'll see Jannah and Andrea leading together in the coming weeks. They've been working together behind the scenes as well, and we're just very grateful for Andrea's leadership and support, and the way that she's, I think, shepherded our worship life in these last 6 months or so as we've done this search. So that's all we've got for today. Thank you for watching this video. Definitely reach out to me if you have questions. Reach out to Jannah if you have questions. If you have a hidden music talent that you've not felt motivated yet to offer, Jannah would love to talk to you. Have an awesome Thursday. Stay warm. God bless. We will see you on Sunday.